wrap up this lesson, we first want to have you try the got it really quick. So again, it tells us right here, this is a triangular prism, but you always want to look. I have to have two identical bases on opposite ends of my shape. So I see that I have this triangle right over here, and I have the exact same triangle right over here. Because of perspective, it looks like it kind of changes size a tiny bit, but it is the identical shape. So you know that is actually the base of my triangle. So when you think about lateral area of the triangle now, that base tells you the perimeter, because the perimeter around the base will tell you when I unfold the shape, that will be the base length of all your other rectangles. So when I start looking at lateral area, being perimeter times the height, my perimeter is going to be the 3 plus the 4 plus the 5, which is going to give me 12. My height is always the distance between the bases. So here that distance between the bases is going to be 7. And this comes out to be 84. Of course, I'm going to circle that because I'm going to use it. Now I want the big B. I want area of the bases. So I'm now looking at this triangle. We have to remember that because it's a triangle, my formula becomes 1/2 times the base times the height, little b and little h. So little b is going to be 4 and little h is going to be 3. I could switch these around, but what I care about is that right down here I see that this right angle indicates that those have to be the base and the height of the triangle because they have to be perpendicular. This becomes then 2 times 3, which is 6, which tells me that my big B is 6. And when I come plug all that in for my surface area formula, I have lateral area plus 2 times my big B. Sorry that my smart board's getting really weird, guys. So my lateral area we know is 84 times my 2 times my big B, which is 6, becomes 84 plus 12. And that's 96 meters squared in total. So that will be our final answer, 96 meters squared. Now when the base is any other kind of shape, so let's say a hexagon or a pentagon or anything like that, when we have regular polygons, we know that we can break up any regular polygon into all equal triangles. So this regular hexagon, I can break up into 6 isosceles triangles, because I know that the distance from the center out, those are going to be the same to each other. So when I start doing this, when we have like this box that Miss Adventure picked up on her travels, we know that we can draw from the center out, make that triangle, and then have 6 of them because I have all equal triangles, if I can get my smart board to work with me. So we'll have 6 of those there. So all I have to do is evaluate the size of one of these triangles. So big B is actually going to be 6 triangles. So when I do the math, I'm going to find one of the triangles, multiply by 6. Now we could start with the lateral area. That might actually be easier. So my lateral area, again, is going to be the perimeter times the height, where the height is the distance between the bases. My perimeter all the way around this, well, I have 6 sides, all of 3. So 6 times 3. Then the height, the distance between the bases, is a 4. 6 times 3 gives me 18 times 4. I can break that up. 10 times 4 is 40. 8 times 4 is 32. So we get 72. I'm going to go ahead and circle that to keep it for later. When we now look at doing big B, I'm going to look at first just one of the triangles. So really, I'm going to look at this section. Notice that this 2.6 was the height of the triangle. Before I shaded that in, it was pointing right there. So the base edge of it right here, my little b, that's just 3 because it matches the edge of all the other ones. So I have 6 times my triangle area of 1/2 times the 3 times the 2.6. Please let me know if that does not make sense, why we have 6 triangles and then we use the triangle area formula. I'm actually going to do half of my 2.6 first. So I'm going to have 6 times 1.3 times 3 because I can do the multiplication in any order. I then get 6 times 3.9. And when we calculate that, we get 23.4. So again, that's a number that I'm going to use because that is one of my big B's. So now again, when we set up our final surface area formula, we have the lateral area plus 2 times the big B. That lateral area was 72. That 2 times the big B was 23.4. And if we add all that up, we then get a final surface area of 118.8. And we need to label it. That would be inches squared because all my measurements were in inches. Go ahead and pause the video to try the got it. I'm only going to give you the answer for the got it. I'm not going to show you the whole step-by-step process. So pause the video, get your answer for the got it, then come back.
You can.
So for our got it in this situation, we actually are just going to do the same thing. My base is this hexagon. I can break it up into 6 triangles. So our final answer will be 116 inches squared. We get there through this process. We start by finding the lateral area. We deal with the perimeter being 6 sides, all of 2 inches. So that gives me my perimeter of 12. Then the height is 8 because it's 8 inches between the bases. The area of my base, I break up the hexagon into 6 triangles. I deal with each triangle individually, then multiply by 6. So I do 1/2 times 2 times 1.7 for 1/2 the base times the height. From there, I multiply that by 6 and get 10.2. Then I plug it into my initial surface area formula and get 116 inches squared. Please let me know if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns about any of this content. Aside from that, we will keep moving on to our next lesson, 22.2.